It's Friday, time for another weekly update. Happy New Year, everyone. Have you ever wondered why they dropped the iconic ball at Times Square in New York to celebrate New Year's? Well, here's the scoop. Dropping a ceremonial ball to recognize a specific moment or event dates back to the early 1800s. For example, according to the Times Square website, in 1833, a time ball was installed at the Royal Observatory in Greenwich, England. Every day at 1 o'clock, the ball would drop. Nearby boats synchronized their timing instruments with the drop of the ball. The Times Square tradition began in 1907 when New York Times publisher Adolf Ochs was denied a fireworks permit to celebrate New Year's Eve. So instead, he commissioned the building of a 700-pound wood and iron ball. Today's ball is 12 feet in diameter and weighs 6 tons. An estimated 1 million people gathered in Times Square last year to watch it descend. Now, in case you missed it, the City of Knoxville is looking at the future of beer sales at Neyland Stadium after Aramark, the stadium's vendor, was cited for a handful of underage beer sales violations. While this is a city issue, it does have an effect on the county as a whole, so I felt compelled to offer my opinion. First, I think it's important to remember the context here. Aramark operates 160 points of sales throughout the stadium and sells about 40,000 beers on average at every home game. Last football season, there were 3 reported violations. And while some folks will point to beer sales as a cause of increased rowdiness at the stadium, the numbers tell a different story. According to the University of Tennessee Police Department reports, the number of incidents at games has remained level over the years, with 2019, ironically, the first year beer was sold, showing the lowest number of incidents. There was an uptick last year, but we can probably attribute that to last season being the most exciting year for the Vols in 2 decades. It seems counterintuitive, but beer sales inside the stadium actually may help reduce binge drinking, as folks will hopefully drink less when tailgating before the game and don't smuggle hard liquor in through the gates. Last year, beer sales generated over $2.6 million, of which UT retains half. Of course, part of the sales tax from these sales go to Knox County schools. And also some nonprofits and Knox County schools sports clubs operate concession stands under Aramark's beer license at the games, giving these groups financial support. In addition, beer sales make our venues more competitive when bringing events and concerts to our area. For instance, Garth Brooks and the 82,000 people at his show would not have come to Neyland Stadium without beer sales. Obviously, Aramark needs to be held to a high standard when it comes to underage sales. At the same time, I hope that a solution can be reached that does not threaten to suspend or discontinue beer sales at the stadium. Finally, this week ended on a high note as I spoke at the ribbon cutting for the new Adrian Burnett Elementary School. We are super excited about this new facility. Thanks to everyone who was involved. Until next Friday, I hope everyone has a great week.